Alright everybody, High Desert Bees here. So, it is November 24th. It's about 55 degrees right now. And I went and looked at my hive yesterday because I didn't hear anything. I didn't see any activity. So one of the first things, of course, if it's a warmer day, is to look at the entrance, see if there's any activity. And there is nothing. And there was nothing yesterday. So the next step here is to do kind of what's called a hive autopsy, because we want to find out, well, what happened? Why did my bees not make it? So this is how many bars total there were in the hive, because you can see the divider bar is right here. So we had, as you can see, the numbers are a little messed up just because we were moving bars around. So total, I think 13 were in the hive at this point. So I'm going to take out the back ones first that don't have anything, just so I can see in the bottom, because I know there's some dead bees over here. But that's mostly because where the divider board, there was a crack and they would crawl over there sometimes. Anyway, let's see what we got. So take off these bars, move them down to the ground here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a fair number of dead bees down here, but that doesn't necessarily always mean that it's a bad thing, because the amount of bees that I had in the hive, there were a lot of bees. But I'm going to look down here. So I don't know what that is. It looks almost like a white bee husk, right? There's another one that looks almost like a white bee husk. There's another one, so sort of odd. Otherwise, one thing that we want to look at is to see the shape of the wings of a bee, so to see if they look deformed in any way. So we just take one of these bees. That's all. We just kind of take a look. So let me bring it out to the light here. And from what I can tell, those wings look good. So what we're looking for is deformed wings, anything like that. Another thing that we want to look at for is like mites on the body. But I don't see any because they'd be kind of on the thorax. Or you want to see if they just have misshapen thorax, anything like that. But that bee looks very healthy. I mean, obviously it's dead, but for a dead bee, its body shape is fine, nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to just take a look at some of these other bees real quick, because we want to see, do I see a queen, anything like that? And I don't. Is that a bee husk there? Yeah, that's odd. Never seen that. So like a white exoskeleton. Let's see anything down there. The other thing I'm looking for is to see if I see a dead queen, right? Because if I have a dead queen, then there'd be a reason why these, my bees didn't quite make it. But from what I see, this looks normal. It's not, I mean, obviously it's a lot, but it's not a huge amount for the amount of bees that were in the hive, right? There's another bee. Again, the wings look fine. Nothing wrong with those. They look great. I don't see any mites, anything like that. So I have a piece down here we're going to look at once we move the bottom board. Okay. Anyway, we're just going to start moving things aside, right? So here's my divider. We're going to look at the bottom. Now see if you can see this bottom of this hive, there's barely any dead bees. That's a good sign, because that means disease didn't get them, right? So this bar right here, number 10, that's where I had harvested that honey. So it's going to be upside down like that. But we're going to try to take out these other bars. This is just one empty one I had in there. And here you can see just comb, you know, not even filled, but they were building some comb. So I'm going to, again, we're going to put everything upside down so you get an idea of what the hive had looked like. So this, you can see, is all honey. So that's all honey, capped honey. It doesn't look like it's been used, right? It looks good. So again, I gotta try to move it. We're gonna put it upside down here. So you can see, we're gonna balance the bars so you can see what the hive would have looked like you know, when full, right? For the time being here, I'm gonna see, put my phone here. Can I see what I see? Do I see the hive from there? Yeah, I do. So you're gonna see my butt as I move some of these bars, but I'm gonna just put that there to record. So this is another bar full of honey. Another one full of honey. Here. There. Another bar full of honey. Not all of it's capped, but that's honey, capped honey. So it doesn't seem like a starving situation, right? Because they have all this honey, but depending on where the brood nest is, they may not have been able to get to the honey. Okay, next. All right, another, again, full of honey. So it's just another bar. I don't know what you can see when I hold it this way, but that's all honey. The comb is dark just because it's cold, or was cold, right? And because it was honey that's just not filled. You can see how it's kind of liquidy there, but see, as you can see, there's no bees. When I pull these out, there's no bees. Bar number 4, another bar, honey and pollen. There's nothing in there but honey. So again, liquid honey just wasn't capped yet. The top is all full of honey. Okay, and then so this is the bar that I was talking about that still had some bees on it. There's some honey at the top. There's some bees at the bottom. Again, I don't know if you guys can see that the way I got my camera set up. But they're just hanging on, so they're not alive. But they're honey. They're not looking like they're trying to get they're not looking like they're trying to get honey, like their heads aren't in there, so it's not a starving situation. I just think they're dead. Well, they actually feel warm and soft. But I don't see a queen.
So they're dead?
As far as I know, they're dead. So I see another little bit on this bar. Again, I don't know what you can see by me holding the camera like that. But there's the bees, that's where they're kind of clustered. And there's a bunch of honey. But their heads, again, are not in the honey. Now where there was capped brood, it's all hatched. So I'm trying to see if I find a... Looking for a queen. I don't see a queen. They don't even feel dead.
But they are.
Could be just...
Tired.
I mean, they're soft. They're not like hard, like the other dead bees. Okay, so I only have the 2 bars left here. But yeah, there's not enough dead bees at the bottom. All the brood is hatched out. I don't see a queen. And I don't see any eggs in any of these cells. So my guess is that I have a queenless hive. That I must have lost the queen at some point, so I didn't have enough to lay to hatch throughout the winter. And then the very last bar, this number 1. If I that one is the one that's purpleized on the most here. I can't get it. And yeah, it's just honey at the top. The cells look clean and good. Okay, so I'll grab my camera back here. So this is what the hive would have looked like from the inside, right? So there's bar number 1 right here, and there's the rest, but there's not barely any bees. So there's a few of them in there that were piled up. But if you look at the bottom of that hive, see, that one's even more clean than where they had the dead bees, which is normal because they like to move the dead bees out. But yeah, I do not see a queen. So I'm going to have to go through some of these dead ones here just to see if I can find a queen. But I think that's my guess. I think I had the queen either died before the winter time, and so the last of the brood never made it. So I didn't have enough population to keep a warm hive, and so the few remaining just died off. Anyway, King's High Desert Bees signing off.